Alright, so here we are with Hani on the road. And I want to show off the title screen quickly because it's a really nice piece of art. Wait for it to clear up. It's a reference to a famous painting, I would think. Alright, so Hani on the road. I'm just gonna get started with this since we're a bit late. So let's get going in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so Hani on the Run is this lane-based runner type of game, I guess you could call it. I'm playing Hani, this figure here, who's a Mooware figure, a kind of clay figure that, as far as I understand, was given as a kind of funeral offering. And Mooware in general weren't just this exact figure, they could be objects, buildings or something. But this is the typical pop culture depiction of a Mooware. And yes, as Chat mentioned, this game has co-op mode. You can play with a second player who gets to play Lemon, which is basically a grey Hani. And that's a neat little piece of wordplay there, Hani and Lemon. Oh, I'm missing an extra life down there. Well, there it goes. I'm collecting these blue potions. 25 potions give me an extra life. There's also... oh crap. There's also extra life pickups. And 20,000 points and 50,000 points also gives me an extra life. Okay, so most stages are auto-scrollers, and they take a fixed amount of time. They always end when the timer at the bottom shows 52 seconds left. This stage is not an auto-scroller, so that means I can run through as fast as I can manage. There's a big pit here, I keep falling into that. The jumps are a bit tight. Well, in general, the jumps and the attacks are very tight, so your jump is super short-ranged. It requires a pretty good timing to get right. Alright, so the game let me pick a stage or a path on the overworld there. And I picked the path to the next warp. So some stages, if you end on a specific lane, you'll get some kind of secret, like a warp or a bonus stage where you can collect lots of blue potions or just some extra lives. And for the any percent category, I want to take all the warps to skip the most amount of stages. Every warp lets you skip 2 stages. So there's an extra life up there, but sometimes the rock lands on it, sometimes it's far enough away, and in this case it's too close. I can't get that. Extra lives are a pretty big factor in this run, so the game can take your lives away very quickly. If you lose all your lives, it depends on how you lose your last life. So if you lose your last life by getting hit by an enemy or a projectile or something, a rock, you get a game over and you're sent back to the last checkpoint. And most checkpoints are before and after boss stages, which we haven't seen yet. But if you lose your last life by falling into a pit, you don't get a game over, you fall down into hell. Hell is a separate auto-scroller stage. And you get a new set of extra lives. I think you get like 3 lives. And if you manage to finish the hell level, then you get to keep all the lives that you still have left. And you can continue in the stage where you died. So that's a bit of a safety mechanic even. So if I'm low on lives in the run, depending on where the next checkpoint is, or was, where the last checkpoint was rather, I can decide to either take a game over to get some lives back quickly, or to jump down to hell, which takes a whole stage basically, but lets me continue in the same stage again, at least. So there I exited on lane 1, and that gives me a warp. We're skipping 2 stages, which also means that we're skipping the first boss. Okay, so now I've got a sword, and with the sword I can bonk all these kappas, I think they're kappas. The sword only can kill a certain number of enemies, so now it's broken. And I have to do the rest of the stage in the regular fashion. I picked up an item there that freezes, stops all the enemies, and there we go. Okay, here's one of my favorite stages, just because it's a neat idea. We've got these boats with turrets, and I can shoot the turrets, and these little squids, octopuses, pink guys, can fire the turrets as well. And it's pretty difficult to actually attack these enemies directly. So I don't want to go up to them and kick them, because they'll probably shoot at me before I can get them. So I'll stick to the turrets, and there's one place where I can dodge past the enemies. Here I can dodge up, because I can't really continue down there. There's no more boats. So the most interesting thing for me about this game is the stage variety. So almost every stage has a unique look, unique mechanics, lots of pretty cool ideas in there. We don't get to see my favorite stage in the game, because we try to skip the most amount, so I can't really visit that, but maybe I'll try. Oh crap! I lost another life. Maybe I'll try routing a warpless run at some point. So I'm down to 1 life. This would be a good occasion to take a death, actually. So this is a boss stage, which means there's a checkpoint here. So it's a really quick way to replenish your lives. Just take a death. But don't fall down to hell, that takes a lot longer and gives me less, fewer extra lives, I think, even. So that was a pretty quick way to replenish my lives. Oh, I wanted the hoop there, but it's so hard to keep. This game has some interesting items, like the hoop just now. It's a weapon that you can kick at enemies, but you have to take care that it returns to you, otherwise it just rolls off screen and is gone. And yeah, usually that just happens without me even kicking it. I just push it away accidentally and then it's gone. Let's get the freezing item here. So this is a boss stage, and boss stages are basically normal stages, and then there's the boss fight. So it should take the same amount as an auto-scroller, I guess. Here's the boss coming up. There we are. And I have to kick these little heads he's spitting out back at him, but again, because my kick is really short range, this requires really precise timing. There we go. If I kick a bit too early, the head would just move in below me, and I would land on it and get hit. Okay, that's the first boss, and here's another pretty interesting stage. This is an auto-scroller, but it moves so fast that I can't move away from the back. I'm just stuck here until I pick up this item, and now I'm a car. Now I can move around, but the whole stage is still pretty fast, so dodging is more difficult here, I would say. Should be some extra lives, there's one. And I'm at 24 potions, so if I get another one, there's another extra life. And seeing as I've got enough lives, I would say... Oh, okay, well I'm losing some. Maybe I should take the bonus stage here. Yeah, I guess I'll take the bonus stage here. So if I finish this stage on the first lane, that takes me to a bonus stage. Another extra life. And that should take me to a bonus stage, so that I can show that off as well. The bonus stage is an auto-scroller. It's a bit shorter than the other auto-scrollers, I think. And it's got lots of blue potions. And getting to 20,000 points score would also give me another extra life. So maybe I can also get that here. There's some more pots. Missed that one. Okay. So here the game lets me pick a path again, and I'm picking the upper path because that takes me to another warp. And the gimmick for this stage is that the lanes, the ground falls away, and it does so in a specific order. So as long as I'm paying attention, I've got that written down next to me. So now it's lane 3, then 1, then 3. And the game is always tempting me with these items onto the dropping lanes. Oh, crap. Okay, so now it goes 4, 4, and 2 and 1. I should be safe down here. 7 lives. That should be... hopefully should be good for the rest of the game. Just a few more seconds here. The auto-scrollers always end at 52 seconds. There. Okay, this stage has the next warp at the end. And it also has these really narrow walkways. It's easy to fall down there, because it's not really clear where you can stand and where you can't. But here's a really narrow one. There we go. I think these red guys here are the worst enemies because they can switch lanes and follow you. Okay, and here's the lane where I wanna exit for the warp. The nice lady shows us to the warp again, and now we're at stage C, which is not the last stage, but it's not much further. There's 4 more stages after this. And this stage has these moving pits. And they really like to appear just below me, and they don't give me much time to dodge. There's another bonus stage at the end of this stage, but I think I'm good on lives. I shouldn't need that. And even though this is not a boss stage, there's a checkpoint on this stage because there's basically a gauntlet of stages coming up for the rest of the game. And this is my favorite item in the game. I hope I can keep it for a while. It makes you almost invincible. The pits can still get you. Close dodge there. Oh, there we go. But I can't jump with this. I can't jump or kick, but I can just run through all the enemies. Okay, 56, 55, almost at the end. There we go. Reasonably well. Okay, so after C comes pi, like the Greek letter pi. And this is another really cute stage, I think. We've got these little yellow pudgy fellows, and they want to grab onto my legs, and they slow me down if they do. Having just one of them stuck to me isn't too bad, but more than one can be a problem. I think they let go after a while, and if you jam, they also let you go. if you jump, they also let you go. There's an extra life, very good. Haven't fallen down so far. Oops, there are these signs in the background that also tell you how far you are in the stage. There was just a 4-kilometer sign. Always 8, 6, 4, 2, I think. So each stage apparently is like 8, maybe 10 kilometers. So Hani must be running really fast. Doing 10 kilometers in like a minute or so. Okay, next up, stage Omega, if I remember correctly. This one's pretty dangerous. There's a sword that will hopefully take me through half the stage. Even if I mash the sword, it's still possible that the enemies get me. I'm not quite sure how it happens. Maybe they can get through just between your sword hits. Okay, for the rest of the stage I just have to make do. Okay, well that went better than usually. Okay, now stage Sigma. This stage starts off pretty slow and harmless, but it keeps accelerating, and we will get to the point again where I can't move away from the back. Except this time I don't get a car. And these angels appeared in an early stage of the game, but which we didn't visit. But now they've got lightning. Okay, 3 lives is not great, so maybe if I get down to 1 life, I'll probably fall down to hell here for safety. I mean, it would be nice to show off hell, I guess. Okay, so it's getting a lot faster now. But that's almost it, there we go. Okay, and here's the last stage, and it's a boss stage, so I'm getting a checkpoint here. Now it doesn't matter if I die, but this stage is also not as difficult as the other ones. And the boss fight here is pretty slow, it takes a lot of time. So I have to collect some time items here in order to get more time, because you just can't do it with the standard amount of time you get. There's an extra life, I can really use those. The fight isn't really difficult, but it's easy to make mistakes. So I want some extra lives. These fireballs that fall down here don't actually hurt me, so I could walk through them, but the explosion does hurt me, so yeah, it's risky to try and walk through them. Okay, we should be coming up to the boss pretty soon now. Here we are. So the boss are these little dancing guys. And one of them has a different color than the others. That's the one I have to hit. And while they move into position, only the yellow one can actually damage me, so I can just walk through them. And with every hit, there's one fewer. Okay, we're at 9 left. It's 8. Seven. Yeah, well, we've got some time left. I could mention this isn't the only Hani game. There's also Hani in the Sky on PC Engine. which is a shmup. I think kind of a simple shmup. It has this interesting idea where you can rotate your turret in any direction, basically. Okay, that's the last hit, and that's it. Time is when the screen fades to black. But other than that, yeah, that's Hani on the road. And I really like this game. I would highly recommend it. There's lots of stages in here which we haven't seen. Some pretty interesting ones. So I should mention my favorite stage. My favorite stage has you running around in what looks like urban modern Japan, I guess, and schoolgirls try to push you onto train tracks so that the so that the trains will run you over. So that's a pretty unusual stage idea. Thanks for the GGs in chat. Yeah, so that's it from me. Thanks for having me. Thanks for watching. Definitely stay tuned for another day of TurboFest with some great runs. And